Hello again, and welcome to Winning with the Wrangler at Dick Powell's Leadership Corner, brought to you by Earth, Wind, Fire, Water Training and Development, where our passion is building leaders of today and tomorrow. Leaders, the information on today's program was gathered from many different places and many different people. So if you hear yourself in our conversation today, please remember it's not all about you. And today we have Miss Robin with us. Miss Robin, how are you doing today?
I am terrific.
You know, it's just going to be a good day. Today we're going to talk about how to really support your leader.
I think that's a good idea.
Now, it's a new concept, isn't it?
It is, because basically the leader's generally tasked with supporting the group.
You know, and to think about it, if we're all really leaders, no matter where we're in the hierarchy or we're chain of command or
Or at
whatever,
the bottom of the list,
Okay.
whatever, yeah.
we really ought to support one another.
We just more than another, but our the other part is our group, whoever we're leading, need to support us too.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about.
Oh, good.
So, you know, when this came to me, I was still watching people respond to the leader of an organization, quite honestly, and they had great ideas that were unresearched, not prepared for, with no solutions. And then they wanted someone else to do the work.
Yeah.
And the leader was kind of, I think, stunned and dumbfounded a little bit.
And there's probably a very gracious way to deal with that. Like, hey, let me know when you get that worked out, fleshed out, whatever, something. But yeah. But to expect a leader to do everything is the first misconception.
Yeah, he didn't handle it very well. Well, anyhow, there were others, though, who commented on such trivial things as, I don't have enough paper clips at my desk. So it was just really weird to me that, here it was, these people, the leader was addressing them with some real concerns about their organization.
And they're worried about paper clips.
They didn't get it,
And that's not unusual, I'm sorry to say.
So,
really,
becoming a great leader means becoming a great follower. And that is just such a true statement that it just is kind of crazy.
I just had a nasty thought.
Uh-oh.
It's actually becoming you're the best one with the dustpan and the broom to clean up the mess at the end too.
You talk louder.
Okay. Yeah,
well,
sorry. these thoughts kind of jump in and then they jump out.
It's not a bad thing.
Sometimes it is.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to present some things that I called must-dos in order to support your leader.
Right. Okay. Now I have another pertinent question right now before we get started. Should the leader supply these to the followers at the beginning of the term? Or just make them available, or suggestions, training? I don't know. When do we make these available?
I think this is a situation where, as we're doing the instruction time for leaders,
the leadership training,
that this is a really a part of that. We need to always remember that we're supporting the leader of the organization, the company, whatever, church, or whatever. Right. But we're also going to be supporting one another.
Yeah, it works. Okay? It works in a big circle, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay.
So one of the must-dos that I really wrote down on the top of my list, was to offer solutions, not just great ideas.
Right.
And by that I mean great ideas are like great dreams. Well, they're nothing without solutions and action. Right. And they just kind of sit there. But solutions have to be researched and prepared for before you can make them into any kind of reality. So go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was the reason you need to research them and think about them is the first solution may not be the best.
Well, exactly.
And don't just take it like it's got to be that way, because everything needs to be stated. You need to deal with objections. Some of them will be good, some of them will be dumb, or inappropriate, or whatever. All those things they will be okay. But you need to deal with them, and then.
And the SMART goal,
them and prepare
if you look at the SMART goal, one of the biggest things is it realistic?
Is it realistic?
And does it have measurable? Is it time sensitive? All those things with SMART goals. Mm-hmm. And when we started looking at those things, and this is what, over top of my desk for years, there was this big sign that says, accountability starts with me. And as people came into my office, I always encouraged them if they wanted to come in and complain or whatever, it was no problem, as long as they had a solution.
Right.
And that's all I'm trying to get across here.
And it doesn't have to be the best solution or the final solution. It just has to be a solution.
A starting
place. Keep
that
in mind, because just because you have the first solution doesn't mean it's going to be the one that they follow.
But it gives a
But it has to
starting point.
start. You have to have a starting point.
Instead of coming to the person and saying, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, come and say, would it be better if we tried this?
Yes.
Would it be better if we
Again,
done something different?
You need to not just say you shouldn't, wouldn't, couldn't do this. Again,
it's
you have to have a solution. Maybe you should try this or that.
And that's the whole thing we're trying to say is, look, when people come in and there's many of them in your group or your team, there's always going to be more than one solution. But if you're making a correction to someone or something or something in the group, have at least some positive piece to offer.
Right. You have to be a little careful about that, not to let everything be negative.
That's the.
Don't have your team come up with 10 solutions that will all be bad. That's not good either. But again, consider each solution on its merit and the benefits and the cost, expenses, whatever that might not just be financial, and then come up with a correct final solution.
There's many things that go into this. It's just if we can try to lay some instructions with our folks that we need to support one another. If we see something needs corrected, to really take the time to do some research, get prepared, and have a solution available when we come and talk about it.
And that's the main thing, is that when you find something that needs to be changed, you're not just pointing out the problem, that you have a solution to address it also.
Right. And I think it sounds easier than it is, and I understand that. I'm just trying to say that if we did this for our leaders, what a difference it would make. Instead of kibitching about it.
In the parking lot, like things
okay.
Yeah.
Instead of taking it to the parking lot where everybody, does the thing, really spend some time, prepare yourself, get ready to go in and have an honest, open conversation.
Friendly and polite.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So number 2, this is a big one for me. Keep current. You see, if you really want to help the leader, if you really want to support them, you're going to keep current on upcoming, existing opportunities, and the new ones too. Now think about it. If you can stay current so that when they start speaking or something, they bring something up, you already kind of know about it. Think how great that would be. But staying current really means that you have done some of these things on your own time. Now, I grew up in a company that was all union, and everybody moaned and groaned about me doing things on my own time, especially when I would go to school and take classes. Here's the difference. If you truly are thinking about this, that you are working for yourself and you own the company, you will find that your thinking just changes. And even when you work for someone else, I'm telling you what, you still own the company. Because without you, the company goes away.
That's right.
So change your thinking. Modify it to a point where, hey, I'm not doing this on my own time. I'm doing this to benefit myself as well as my corporation.
And everything changes.
Well, sure.
I mean, and that's just part of life. Seasons change. We grow old. Things change. I was thinking of some point in the not too distant past that they were looking to do a fundraiser, and someone recommended a car wash. I got to tell you, how many people still wash their own cars? I mean, our city is full of automatic car washes, and we've actually used them.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for Dick that he changed that. But a car wash for a fundraiser might range you $30, but it's a lot of work, and kids do not know how to wash cars, so their parents are washing the cars. So for a youth group to be, it's not practical, it's not current, and I think she didn't appreciate getting shot down. We were trying to be nice to her, but again, keep with what's functioning now, and whatever you're doing, keep current. A little ahead of the current wave would be good, because then you'd be on the cutting edge instead of the back edge. Mm-hmm. But again, think about these things, come up with practical, current things, and deal with the objections.
Right. And
do your research.
And one of the ways to stay current really is whatever your chosen career, whatever your chosen piece is, there's either a magazine or an organization that handles it. And get involved.
Right.
It doesn't take much. To pick up a magazine, to pick up a brochure, to go look. I know you guys use the computer all the time. Go there, look stuff up, learn.
Right. Again,
it doesn't hurt.
again, keep current, because that helps your leader who may not have as much time,
Right.
or may not know all of the things you know. It helps them keep current also.
There you go. It really helping your leader helps you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're trying to take and tell you. This thing of, I'm in it all by myself. Well, you're not. You're not.
If you are, that says something not good about you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay. I'm going to take us on to the next one because this one's a hot topic. And it's called Take the Initiative. When you see something that needs done, do it. Why wait until you're told to or assigned? Remember, you own the company.
Yeah, you're part of the owners. What I was going to say was, if you wait till it's assigned because your leader's a dictator, that's a whole different problem. But like I said, take the initiative. Your leader can't do everything.
Well,
if they can, there's a problem. But help out where it needs to be helped.
A lot of times it's just little simple things. Like the person complained about the paper clips. Well, that's an easy solve.
How many do you need?
That's not something that the president of the organization needs to even hear about.
Right.
And to bring it up in a large meeting, I was kind of shocked. I was kind of dismayed.
I thought it was just the height of rude. But there you go. That's me.
And anyhow.
But again, take the initiative.
We all walk around in the office. I worked outside in big trucks. Everybody walks around and sees something that needs done. Mm-hmm. You can either walk past it or you can just do it. It helps the leader. It helps everyone around you. It helps you. So why not do it? I just,
and don't wait for someone else to do it.
It just sounds so easy to me.
Yeah.
And that, if you see it needs done, do it. Mm-hmm. Of course, Miss Robin, that's one of her rules here at the house. So just so you know.
We all live here.
Yeah. Be reliable. When I say be reliable, what's that mean to you, Miss Robin?
That you show up when you're supposed to be there, mm-hmm. and you're ready to go to work, and what you say you will do, and you will do it in a timely manner.
And be accountable.
Oh, and be accountable for doing it or not. Not doing it.
I think that
I forgot I only work so often. Oh, honey, I forgot to make dinner.
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry. Think about it, though. In our world today, when I was growing up, your handshake was your bond. Your word was your bond. Many times we didn't even have to handshake. If I gave someone my word, it would be done unless I was on my deathbed or in the hospital or something terrible had happened. I followed through. And it's the follow through that really brings the being reliable to the point. But it also builds your character. It builds all the people can trust. And that's really means a lot. So helping your leader, if the leader trusts you, you trust them. This is a huge point.
Right. And I think as a reliable support for the leader, if you are asked to do something or volunteer to do something or it's assumed you're going to do something, you're going to do it.
Right.
I mean, if your job at a church meeting is to start with the devotions, mm-hmm. you need to be prepared and be reliable and do it. If it includes an opening prayer and you're not comfortable with praying, write it down.
Or find someone to do it.
Well, if you're assigned to do it, you have to do it.
Well, you should be doing it.
Yeah. You should be doing it. But be reliable. Do what someone asks you to do that you would agree to do, and what you volunteer to do it, and do it the best job you can do. Don't just slide through on a.
Well, I think that's the thing that really can help your leader. Mm-hmm. You can help them by making sure that you're not just sliding through, that they don't have to follow up with you. Mm-hmm. If you've agreed to do something, that they don't have to run you down to make sure it's done.
Right.
That's a big piece of integrity. It's integrity. Okay? In which integrity, trust, character all go together. And if you really want to help your leader, boy, that's a big one. This next one is kind of funny, so just jump on it and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. If you really want to help your leader, take care of the little stuff. Ensure the little stuff doesn't become big stuff. Paper clips is a little stuff. But what I've found over and over through the years, that so many times little things rise to the top, and either by oversight or because they're little things are just kind of left alone, and then all of a sudden they become a big thing because the person or persons start to build. And that one little thing turns into a huge thing. And you'll have to spend time figuring out what the core problem is before you get to take and deal with the little things.
I was when I first read this, I thought, sometimes if you take all the little stuff, the big stuff doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
But if you miss some little stuff, all of a sudden everything becomes big stuff.
And it goes very quick to happen like that.
Oh, snowball. Big snowball effect.
These little things, could be that I remember I worked in one shop that all the pencils had to be sharpened. Okay. And it was a big thing because in a woodworking shop, pencils are a big deal. But let me tell you something. When they weren't done and someone was doing a critical project and they had to hunt for one,
big deal.
It became a big problem very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So the little stuff, help your leader out by handling this little stuff. It's just so.
Probably on a team with a leader, everybody has some little stuff they're responsible for.
Sure.
And if you take care of your little stuff, then the leader only has to take care of her little stuff.
Well,
there's no big stuff.
Think about how many times you went to the copy machine didn't have any paper in it. Little stuff.
Toner.
Little stuff.
Toner.
Didn't have any toner in it. Little stuff. That whoever was there could have handled it right then and there.
If you use your kitchen as an example, it's like who put the empty milk jug back in the refrigerator?
Wasn't me.
All that little stuff. Who used up the last of whatever commodity you had and didn't write it on the grocery list? So when you went to the grocery shop, you didn't know you needed it, and there you are, stuck because you don't have what you need. It's everywhere. The little stuff is the little stuff that matters.
And I think that's why when you get in the mode or the habit of doing the little stuff at home, doing the little stuff at work, doing the little stuff in your nonprofit or wherever you're volunteering, this is where it really starts to come to. It's a habit. It's a way of life.
There used to be a saying that said, "Don't sweat the small stuff."
Yeah.
Which if you think about it, you don't sweat the small stuff because you're taking care of the small stuff. It's all small.
If you're taking care of it when it needs done. If you see it needs done, do it.
Do it. Don't leave it sit.
I think that's where that all kind of starts to compound and make things happen.
Right. All of a sudden you have a big explosion. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun at all.
And it's not necessary. It takes a lot of time away from every part of leadership, yours and theirs.
And it makes everybody, kind of builds the negative feelings and so take care of that little stuff.
It's the negative piece that I'm really trying to get you to see that as helping the leader, you're actually helping yourself and helping the company.
Right. And sometimes if you take some of the small stuff that's a leader's responsibility, you can feel real good about that, and the leader can feel very, very appreciative.
Yeah.
And also says that you are paying attention to all the stuff, not just your stuff, but all the stuff.
Well, and that really goes back to that thing is keeping current.
Keeping current.
And that's
what do I need to do? What needs to be done?
That's when I wrote this up, I thought to myself, this is good stuff. It sounds so simple. It sounds so simple. I'm going to help the boss. I'm going to help the leader. Whatever you want to put that thing up there.
Right.
But you're really doing it to help yourself.
Well, you're doing it to be kind and considerate and helpful.
All the above.
Right. Not because you have to, but because you want to. Maybe you have 15 extra minutes. You could do something that makes someone else. I know a lot of times I've been on organizations where the leader isn't real computer competent. That will change as again, keep current because people are getting more and more used to the computer. But for long years, I was writing newsletters. I've probably written newsletters for an organization for 25 or so years. And I've been out of it and back to it a couple of times. But basically, it takes me 15, 20 minutes to write a newsletter. It takes her 3 days. Writing the newsletter can be pretty helpful. Oh, it just reminds me I need to write one for tomorrow. Oh, wait, yeah.
Well,
I guess Wednesday. I got a whole day. Okay. But again, it's a little thing for me, but it would be something humongous for somebody else.
Right.
If you didn't know how to do it. Couldn't use the programs or didn't have the skills or whatever. So and those little things can really help somebody else. On the other hand, another organization I'm the head of right now, and no one can do that for me. I mean, they just don't have the skills to write the newsletter. I'm like, we're so glad you keep doing that because nobody else can really do it. So, it's huge. It's a little thing, but it's huge for overall.
Just keep looking at it that way. Yeah. The last one we're going to look at, and then we're going to go over these again because I think they're so important. The last one I titled Lead Yourself First.
Right.
The reason I entitled it that is if you really want to help the leader, learn to lead yourself first. And
Mhm.
by this, I mean really, it's really a mixture of everything we've been talking about.
Right.
Okay, all the things on the must-dos.
Mhm.
Make sure that you're looking for solutions. Always look for solutions before you go and complain or you go with an idea.
Mhm.
Make sure that they're researched. Take the time. It's not like we don't have the ability to do the research very quickly
Right.
on the computer. I mean, believe me, everybody tells me, "Hey, Dick, just look it up in Google."
Google it.
You know, but the thing
YouTube
is
it.
just take the time. It doesn't
Mhm.
take that long. Stay current. Stay current in your chosen field.
Mhm.
So many times people come through this office and they've downsized, they've been let go, something's happened, but they haven't stayed current in their chosen field. And we have to go back and look at how do we get them prepared to go back into
Right.
and re-enter the work world.
Exactly.
And it's all because they just didn't see to look ahead by staying current.
Right.
Be reliable. Being reliable really means show up on time. Do what you say you're going to do. Have integrity. You know,
Yeah.
these are just important things.
And not that when you show up for the meeting, be ready for the
Be
meeting.
prepared. That's what it
Normally,
says. Yeah.
for a meeting, you've got hopefully an agenda and maybe some reports ahead of time, so you can really be ready to ask questions or come up with solutions to challenges and things like that. But be ready. Don't just dismiss all that information that's pertinent.
As a person who ran a big organization, I can tell you that when people would come to a meeting without a notebook, without a pen or a pencil, they would come with nothing in their hands. They weren't prepared. I have to tell you that many times I wanted to tell them to just leave because I knew they weren't ready to take and have a meeting.
Not only that, but if they're not prepared, can they add anything to a
They
to a
cannot.
challenge? I mean,
They cannot.
they may, if they'd paid attention the day before, have the best solution for a problem that because they just found out about right there, they're not ready and they haven't thought it through or whatever. But yeah, again, if you're not going to be ready for the meeting, don't bother to come.
But being prepared
replace yourself though
is really important. I just can't say it enough because that goes to the accountability part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this thing of being accountable. First of all, you have to be accountable to yourself, and then you have to be accountable to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to be so important all the way through everything that we do. So as you listen to this, you as leaders out there, I want to give you a challenge. I want to challenge you to say, hey, how am I doing on this? Am I as a leader? How am I doing?
How am I doing? It seems like I'm just again, freaky thoughts fly through Robin's head. Maybe you need to have an accountability sheet for yourself, whether you're the leader or not of an organization, to say, how am I doing now? How did I do today?
One of the things I used to use that when I was the leader of I would actually ask them, hey, how am I doing?
How am I doing?
Well,
sometimes when you ask that question, no one wants to be the leader, so they're not going to say anything. I have had that. How am I doing? Oh, you're doing great. Just keep that job. We don't want to change anything here.
I think it's different when you're paid, when you're
volunteer. Oh, okay, so if I was paid, maybe I get like pink notice to where I don't have to show up anymore. That might be fun.
You'd probably get some other options because they used to tell me. I really had one person, only one, who was really honest with me. The other people would kind of dance around because I was the boss. This person I really respected because they were honest.
Yeah.
And they held me accountable, and it was great.
Yeah, that's helpful. It's helpful to have someone. Sometimes it's helpful to have someone who had that position before, whether it was a volunteer or paid position that you can go to bounce ideas off of, or find out where you're losing it. Not that ever happens.
Which everybody does, just so you know.
But to say, I feel like I'm out here flapping in the breeze by myself. How come the people aren't supporting me? And sometimes they're not the right person in the job. Sometimes they're tired. Sometimes they should have moved on previously, or that's an accurate, true thing. You can't have the same job for a long time. And a volunteer, and if you're working, because you probably have things you have to meet.
I never had the job over 5 years. Ever.
Okay, that's true.
I was in the same corporation 30, but never had the same job.
For 5.
Yeah.
You move around, and again, things get boring. Change is inevitable. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And where does that start? Again, it starts with your people, your group,
Okay.
your team.
So, as you go through your world next week or so, because we're all leaders, I want you to really, really do something. I want you to take the challenge. I want you to take and ask people how you're doing. But I'd like for you to write these things down so you can check in on yourself. You know, when we take and do our own evaluation, sometimes we're harder on ourselves than somebody else is. But I'll tell you, when we check in with ourselves, it's a really smart thing to do. So, are you offering solutions, not just ideas? Are you keeping current? Are you reading articles? Are you reading books? Are you going to seminars? Are you staying on top of the latest and greatest things of the career and that you've chosen? And if you're in a nonprofit, are you staying on top of what's going on in that world and outside and how it affects your nonprofit? You know, that's a big piece, staying current. What's working, what's not working, what should we try, what should we not? It's so important to take and be able to do that. Take the initiative. If I can say it once, I'll say it 100 times. If you see something needs done, do it. If you're at the Xerox machine, you know, a copy machine, I know it's not Xerox machine anymore, but copy machine, and it runs out of toner or out of paper, fill it up.
Don't leave it empty.
If you're just using your regular printer on your own computer, fill it up. Do something. It doesn't take much. And if you need your own paper clips, by golly, get up and go get them or go to the dollar store and buy your own. You know, it's just so easy. Really, really is. Think about it. If you take the initiative, sometimes you're going to be doing some things on what some people will call your own time. But you know, when you own the company, everything's your time.
Yes, absolutely.
That's Robin and I. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, every day.
It's ours.
We own the company.
Just like a baby. Grows up.
I had to burp it. Okay, be reliable. Look, you tell someone you're going to do something, do it. Show up on time. Show up dressed appropriately. Show up prepared and ready to go to work. If you're going to a meeting, take a pen or pencil and a pad. You know, take your notes. Do something. Be accountable for what you're doing there. And you know what? In every meeting, if you don't walk out with something to do, you're not in charge of something, you don't need to be there. And I'm going to tell that to everybody. Now, being reliable is a big part of growing up, as far as I'm concerned. And that's where maturity starts to take and happen. Integrity. Little stuff. Take care of the little stuff. You know? What do you think?
Always take care of the little stuff before it explodes.
And lead yourself first. I can't tell you enough. It doesn't hurt to pick up a book or a magazine every once in a while and learn something. What do you think? Anything else you want to say, Miss Robin?
No, I think we covered it. And
All right.
again, everybody's a leader, whether you are the assigned leader or not.
That's right.
And they need to be supported.
All right. On behalf of myself, Dick Powell, and Robin Powell, we want to say thank you for being a part of today's program. If you have any comments or questions on today's program, please don't hesitate. Give us a phone call. 727-422-1833. 727-422-1833. Send me an email, dick@ewfw.org. dick@ewfw.org. Go to the website. Spend some time. Look around. Find out how we can be of help and service to you. There's a box there you can click on and send me a note. Go to www.ewfw.org and send me a note. It's pretty easy. Now, when you know for sure that you're ready for Robin and I to come and put on a leadership seminar at your location for your people, don't hesitate. Give us a phone call or send us an email and get on the calendar as fast as you can. We book up very quickly over the year, and we want to make sure that we can come out and serve you. Now, don't forget your challenge of the day, and that was to take a look at all these different things and see how you're doing as a leader and where you're at leading. Robin, we've got a couple seconds left. What do you want to say?
I have no idea. We don't have seconds left. Have a great day. Go out and lead something.
It's been our pleasure to be with you today. We do hope you've gained a piece of wisdom and knowledge, and that you can put into your life starting right now. And this is Dick Powell saying, this is Leadership Wrangler. Ride hard, ride fast.